Okay, welcome YouTubers. This is the Core Gadget Breakdown series where I break down the gadgets from every knob to every lever and every effect and whatnot. And we're going to do a test run. And the first gadget that we can do for a test run, let me get my keyboard here and let me go in. And the first gadget I think we can use is a simple gadget. Is the Marseille. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the Marseille gadget. I like to call this the Korg M1 gadget of the Korg M1 gadget of the Korg gadget. If you remember the Korg M1 with the sounds, but it reminds me of those Casio keyboards. They look like this. Yeah. You know those Casio keyboards you've seen in people's houses, or you may have one, or you have like your instruments here, and then you have your patterns and rhythms you can put on, and that's about it. And you can't do nothing else with the sound. I mean, this is pretty cool. It has the, you see, it has some drum samples here. That's pretty dope for one of these cheap Casio keyboards. But anyway, on the gadget collection, as you see here, there's a paragraph, and it's not the full paragraph. Some of these paragraphs are cut down, but this is good enough. But we're gonna go to the website and look at the paragraph from there. So let's see. I got the gadget collection here. All right, I got the gadget collection here. Here it is, the Marseille. You can see the 3D thing over here. Man, these would make wonderful keychains, or if it was a real gadget, it'd be pretty cool. But this is a keyboard, PCM gadget only. There's no drum sounds, so this is not a full music gadget. You can't make a full song with it. I mean, if you're not using any drums, then you could, you get your bass and all that stuff. But anyway, look what it says here. It says Marseille polyphonic PCM synthesizer. And the word polyphonic means that it can play more than one note. Of course, you do the piano and you have to do the chords and whatnot. So, it says here, with its workstation-like looks, this polyphonic synthesizer gadget offers a broad selection of standard keyboard sounds, brass, strings, and synth sounds. When you need a piano or electric piano, this gadget will deliver. There is a chord function that lets you produce chords of the scale you specify, making it simple to create a chord progression with no wrong notes. So the wording is the same thing here, except it cuts the last sentence, which I think is very important, but all of them can do the chord. There's a regular function in Core Gadget, except this one has its if you see here, this gadget does have a dedicated chord button right over here, right there. So it does have a dedicated chord button, but let me move my keyboard out. I just moved the screen out the wrong way. Keyboard here, but if I go to scale, you can see the chord option is right here. So like the last sentence, it said right here, there's a chord function that lets you produce chords of the scale you specify, making it simple to create a chord progression with no wrong notes. Now in Core Gadget, they take that to the next level. So if I go out here and I go into here, and if you look, you can see how some of these notes are, the lines in the piano roll is crossed out. So depending what scale you picked, you can still write a note. You can still write a note, but it's to help you guide you along the scale that you want to go on. And this is great when you need to write music fast, or you may not know, you don't have enough, you don't know about scales too much. So it really helps you a lot when you want to stay on the same scale while you're making a whole song, adding your chords, and then you're doing solos or doing your leads or your rhythms or even your bass. It can help you a lot. So we have this gadget here, and like it said it has a workstation like look, and like before I said it looked like the Casio keyboard, but when it says workstation, I guess it means like they're, you know, if you look at the Korg workstation pianos, they'll have the screen in the middle with the controls and stuff. So yeah, it does have a workstation like look. But then a majority of the sounds are from Korg M1, and the library is similar to the library like you see in the you know, in the Casio keyboards or other keyboards. You know, you get your average keyboard and you get your collection of sounds. So in the sound library here, you have first you have your tabs here. You have all your key, strings, brass, bass and lead, synth, miscellaneous, and user. And it's pretty cool because with the all, you get to see all the sounds, and there's about 128 sounds. This can be jarring because you're trying to find a sound, and it's in a certain order, but you may have some trouble trying to find a sound, and you want to look for something real quick. So at least they give you these tabs. So if I go to key, it just shows the piano notes, and if you go all the way down, it stops at where the keys are at. And then if you go to strings, it'll stop there. So from 23 to 34, you do have a couple of string sounds and chord sounds. Same thing with the key, of course. You know, you have your basic piano sounds, and you have a toy piano SG. You even have the M1 piano here, which is pretty cool. So you have your M1 piano, your SG, a toy piano, and some other piano sounds, electric pianos, and some other pianos, your whirly, your clavinets. No, what do you call them? Clav chords? I forgot what you call these things, but you got your claps. Wah clav? That's pretty cool. So it picks a good amount of sounds in here. It could use more, but what you get here is pretty good. There's tape strings and violins, but you do have your string area, so there's some more sounds there. It only has one violin and one flute, but there's a workaround for that. You got your synth sounds. You have a lot of synth sounds here, which is pretty cool. And then the miscellaneous, or whatever you call it, you have a couple of your glass sounds, you know, your glockenspiel, your tubular bells and stuff. But you also have your electric guitars, your guitar sounds, your ukulele, your harp, and you do have a couple of Japanese instruments. We got the koto here. So if I go to scale, and I'm going to change the scale to I think Japan. There. Yes, we're going to change the scale to Japanese. Now I can go here, I'll put it in tab mode, and I play a nice koto sound on there. With the chords, it can really help you out to get that sound, the instrument that you want. Of course, you can play whatever you want if you know how to play it, but you know, if you're a beginner with music and you're just learning how to make music, there's a lot of tools in here to help you get the song that you want. So you have all the instruments here. You have your sounds. Now it may not be a lot of sounds. I know 120 doesn't sound like it, but this is a PCM synthesizer. PCM just meaning that it has recorded sounds. And the synthesizer part, it's what allows you to have more sounds. So you got these knobs here. So two of the biggest things, I mean, first we're just gonna go to the, you have the envelope right here. Let's get in there a little close. So you have the envelope right here. and that is your the envelope is for your volume. This is your volume envelope. It affects the volume, and that's the ADSR, the attack, decay, sustain, and release. So I'm gonna go to, we'll pick the just a regular piano sound. And then we're gonna go to attack, and let's spin this knob here. The attack controls the volume from 0 to 100 as soon as you hit it, or the actually goes to the sustain level, I think, but let's test it out. So if I got a high attack, very high, you're gonna hear the well, if there's no attack, the sound comes out instantly. And then, oops, 1 second. And then if I put the attack up, it takes longer for the sound to go from the 0 volume to the 100% volume, or wherever volume is sustained. And then the decay is how long the sound lasts. So on that decay right there, which is like what, 80%. Now if I put the decay lower, it should only last a little bit. See that? Put a little bit more. See, it's short. That's the sustain is basically the actual volume level of your envelope. So if it's high, it's gonna go. That's the loudest that it'll go to after it's done with the decay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The decay goes down to the sustain level. So there is no decay because the sustains at 100%. So if I put it at 50%, hear that? Now if I do a longer decay, now it's going to be at 100. It's going to take a longer time to get to the sustain level. So what's going to happen is I'm going to rise the sound first of a high attack, then it's going to go back down to the sustain, and we're going to do that 25%. So and then if I put the decay very short, it will rise up and then go down really quick. Hear that? Now the release is how long the release lasts when you let go of the key. So now I'm going to put no attack so we can get the sound here. And then decay, I guess I'll put it up a little bit, and sustain, put it up to 50. Now the release, it's about 60%. So let's see. I'm going to let go now. See that? See, the sound keeps going when I let go. Now if I put a 0 release, as soon as I let go of the button, the sound will stop. See? Now if I put the release all the way up, now I get a whole bunch of notes and they'll keep going. But if the release is on 0, I can still do the sound. I'll just have to hold the keys down, that's all. And if I put the sustain down, it's going to be lower. And that is the volume section, the envelope, the volume envelope. Let me reset this. There we go. Okay, and then up here is the level. That's just the output level. It's the main volume of the whole gadget. So I put it down. So that just controls the volume. So when you're making your music, you want to lower it higher down. It might be a little bit too loud. You can lower it down there. So you got your volume here. So those are like the simple sections there. I mean, if you know the ADSR envelope already, if you don't, then you know it's very important because you can make a lot of sounds that way, a lot of different sounds. The most strongest thing here, the last thing on this gadget is over here, and that is the effects. Move this over here, move this over here. All right, this is the effects section. So the cool thing about about the Marseille is that you get 2 effects channels to use, and all the gadgets use the effect list here. I have to do an episode to go through these, but they do a lot of effects here. So the cool thing is you can have a short delay, and the first knob controls how long the delay is. Well, actually, the knob controls how far the delays come together. So this is a short delay, so it's very, very close. If I do a regular delay, it'll be more spread out. So I'm going to do the highest, but it's very short. So it is spread out, but you can get it longer with a regular delay. And this controls how long the delay lasts. Now you're going to hear it. I just press it once in. Lasts very long. Now we're going to do a short delay and put it down here, and now it's been on Hall Reverb, which is a default on a lot of the instruments, but let's put a distortion on it. Distortion distorts the sound. Great for guitars, and actually it can give flavor and some color to your other sounds too. So if I put this knob controls the distortion and this controls the gain. I don't know if there's a special thing about gain, but I call it the volume. So let's see now. I'm going to lower it down to the delay. Sounds bad. So we got that, and you can hear the distortion. So we're gonna do it less. And then put it all the way up. Oh, gotta put it all the way up. And if it's too loud for your ears, you can put the volume down. Not the best sound, but it's just an example what you can do. So it's cool. These effects really affect the sound. Check out a cymbal. Sounds like one of those Western pianos now. But with these effects types, you can affect the sound, but when there's 2 of them involved, you can do a lot. You can do very much. So, what's that reset at? Let's reset the screen. Yeah, so that is the Marseille. That's everything you can do with it. There's nothing much you can do. But it's one of the most useful gadgets when you need a quick sound. You don't have to edit too much, or you don't have to create it, because you might need a saxophone or brass or some strings, and you don't want to do it. You don't have time to do it in the other gadgets. So this gadget right here, it helps you with that, and a lot of people use it a lot. You can make an entire full song with it, except for drums. So if you look at a lot of projects, on Core Gadget Switch and even the iOS, but definitely Core Gadget Switch. You'll see a lot of people use this gadget a lot. And that's pretty much for this gadget. You have your sounds, you pick your sound, and then you pick the pretty much you pick the sound, and then you edit your volume envelope, and then you're going to spend most of the time with the effects, and that's it. There's nothing much to this gadget. It's very useful and very easy to use. Like it says here, if we go back here and this one, nope, there, if we go back here and change gadget, these things down at the bottom here, as you can see right here, these are in Core Gadget. I don't know if they show up on the iOS version. I haven't used the iOS version in a while. I have to check out. But it gives the tags here. So you have the poly and PCM and basic. Poly meaning that you can play more than one notes. PCM meaning that the sounds are recorded, so you don't make sounds on this gadget. But you can still use the FX to synthesize it even more. And that's kind of the best of both worlds. You don't have to spend time trying to make the sound. And then you can even tweak it. So it's great for beginners. And it says basic. It's a wonderful beginner gadget. And I do highly recommend it. And try it out. So this has been Gadget Breakdown. And I will see you guys next time. And thanks for watching.